Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and as you may have guessed from the music, we got a little something different today. So many roads to travel, so many trains to ride. You know, a classic Foghat song back from the late or mid 70s. So we're going to take a ride with the Santa Fe Super Chief today. Cab view. We're going to do some rail fanning ground views and some drone views. Kind of mix and match together, going through different scenes here on the Retirement Railroad, adding in some narration of what those scenes are all about. And so with that, stay tuned and enjoy.
The Santa Fe Super Chief ran between Los Angeles, California's Union Station, and Chicago, Illinois' Dearborn Street Station. Now, I don't model the Dearborn Street Station. I have two downtown stations modeled. I have both the Van Buren Street, which primarily handled Illinois Central and a couple other more minor railroads. The Union Station handled the Chicago Northwestern, and to some degree there was a separate station, but in very close proximity. The Milwaukee Road, the Pennsylvania Railroad, and the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, or the Burlington CB&Q. So we're going to be looking at the Super Chief as it goes through different scenes on the Retirement Railroad, depicting different areas of Illinois and the Chicago area. Here it passes through Berwyn-Cicero, which would have been on the CB&Q line, and I can justify that due to track work on the Santa Fe main line and being diverted. Here she comes across one of the multiple bridges, either on the Illinois, this lane, or the Cal-Sag Ship Canal. And that's Great Lake Drain. Again, crossing one of the numerous river or canals in the Chicago area. We see this would be down in Lockport. Saw the Texaco refinery right there. And it's pulling in to what I have modeled as a Van Buren Street station, but from this view, it could be any number of different stations. The Van Buren Street station sits below street level in plain view, but most people don't even realize it's there. It sits between Michigan Avenue and Columbus Streets, south of the Chicago River. And there she's pulling out of the station. Another view. I've tried to supply different perspectives from cab rides to on the ground rail fanning to drone views or overhead from buildings. In the case of Van Buren Street Station, it was all of the above. There she is, entering the outer belt of suburbia with cornfields intermixed with suburban towns. That is my farm scene there. same scene. If you pause and look closely up that hill, you'll see a couple of youngsters attempting cow tipping. This is the Downers Grove area with its turntable that was ultimately pulled up in the late 60s. In the background, the roundhouse, but prototypically there was not a roundhouse there. And then even in the back in the 60s where I modeled, the late 60s, there were still cornfields between the suburban towns. So that's what we're seeing here. My Santa Fe Super Chief has the prototypical ABBA configuration, followed by an RPO, then a express freight car, and then baggage car. It has diner, sleepers, coach, dome, and observation. Some of these views, scenes may seem redundant. They are, just from different perspectives. Here we are going through the quarry area, federal quarry, in LaGrange, McCook area now. And across the river in the harbor scene. And we see the north side entrance to Union Station. Taking the bypass around Union Station, eastern bypass. We'll go back underground for a short distance. And here we are. See a little bit of the city in the background. Although that's actually Aurora on my layout. I do like my bridge scenes. Again, that's part of the harbor. See some of the grain, Great Lakes grain elevator there. There we have the Chicago stockyards. If you listen closely, you may even hear some cows and some pigs. There are also intermittent sounds throughout this video. That area there is what I call the bluffs. Up on the top of that bluff, behind the interlocking tower there, is a trailer, and that is the Backwoods Bordello. And if you visit Third Timer Railroad and look closely, you'll see some adult type scenes going on inside the trailer. This is the Aurora station. Now, the Super Chief did not go through Aurora on the CB&Q tracks. Instead, its outer suburb was Joliet, or some say Joliet, and but again, we're depicting it being diverted due to track maintenance. And between Aurora coming inbound, of course, there were miles of cornfields. Not so anymore. It's wall-to-wall homes and businesses. This is the Van Buren Street scene, but it could depict any number of different stations. Staging over to the right, and again we're coming into the staging. And then we see the Burlington Blackhawk to our left. Past Woody's Auto Salvage on Route 83, and there we are, coming across the Cal-Sag. Now we're going to take the western, well, no we're not, we're going to go into Union Station. We still have a lot of people to add to this scene. That's this Capital Limited to the right. Chesapeake in Ohio's service between New York, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. It would have normally been serviced at Chicago's Grand Central Station, which was torn down about this point in time. Now for a few nighttime running scenes. And again, this is prototypical operations. It wouldn't be going through Aurora one way and then the other way and so forth. But I'm just trying to give you a feel for the retirement railroad. Nighttime through Berwyn and Cicero. One of my favorite scenes. That's Downers Grove's turntable and roundhouse. Again, the roundhouse never existed except on the retirement railroad. It does have 9 lighted stalls and 5 more yard stalls. 2 little sidings for the engine fueling, which currently have tank cars in them.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the ride with the Santa Fe Super Chief. One of the iconic passenger trains pre-Amtrak. And I had the pleasure of seeing it, not riding it, on a couple occasions. And so periodically going forward, we'll mix and match in some of those classic passenger trains. So with that, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and you all have a great day. Bye now.